What up, schmucks? It's Ace Trainer Liam, and welcome to another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form, or a branched evolution, or counterpart Pokemon. We have a look at the differences between the Pokemon in question and try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a Metronome battle between those Pokemon just for a little bit of fun. If you're a fan of Form Fight and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button, show your appreciation for this series, and of course hit subscribe if you're new so that you never miss an episode. But with all that out of the way, let's take a look at today's challengers. Today we're going to be comparing the two forms of Garchomp, which are Garchomp and Mega Garchomp. Now, when you have a Garchomp in your party, it will always be in its regular form. However, during a battle, a Garchomp holding Garchomp Bite will be able to Mega Evolve into Mega Garchomp and will remain in that form until the end of the battle. But what makes these two forms of Garchomp so different? Let's take a look. Both forms of Garchomp stand at 1.9 meters tall and weigh 95 kilograms. The Pokédex data for regular Garchomp says it flies at the speed of sound while searching for prey, and it has mid-air battles with Salamence as the two compete for food. Its fine scales don't just reduce wind resistance, their sharp edges also cause injury to any opponent who attacks it. The Pokédex data for Mega Garchomp says its arms and wings melted into something like sides. Mad with rage, it rampages on and on. Its disposition is more vicious than before its Mega Evolution. Garchomp carves its opponents up with the sides on both arms. Appearance-wise, both forms of Garchomp are tall, bipedal, reptilian, shark-like creatures with blue and red scales and gold decoration, with Mega Garchomp switching out the pointed, clawed wings with huge scythe-like appendages, and of course has a fantastic chin. In their shiny forms, regular Garchomp changes to an ever so slightly duller blue, great change there Game Freak, thanks, whereas Mega Garchomp switches to a striking flamboyant fuchsia colour. Now let's take a look at their typing, weaknesses and resistances. Both forms of Garchomp share the same typing, so they are both dual-type Dragon and Ground Pokemon, which makes them weak to Ice, Dragon and Fairy-type attacks, with the Ice-type weakness being a 4x weakness. They both resist Poison, Rock and Fire-type moves and are completely immune to Electric-type attacks. Now let's move on to have a look at the stats and abilities of these Pokemon forms. Regular Garchomp is your quintessential pseudo-legendary Pokemon with great HP, defense and speed, above average special attack and special defense, and fantastic physical attack. Its primary ability is Sand Veil, which boosts Garchomp's evasion by 1 stage when a sandstorm is in effect. Whilst this ability can be handy for protecting Garchomp during a battle, having to set up a sandstorm can leave Garchomp vulnerable during a turn where it should be attacking. Although in double battles you could always have an ally to bring in the sand. Garchomp's hidden ability is Rough Skin, which causes your opponent to suffer recoil damage equal to 1/8 of that Pokemon's HP whenever it hits Garchomp with a move that makes physical contact. This ability is great for helping to wear down tough opponents, especially with Garchomp's decent physical bulk, allowing it to absorb a fair bit of physical punishment along the way. This ability can be made even deadlier when paired up with a rocky helmet. As for Mega Garchomp, it gets a small increase in defense and special defense and huge increases to its attack and special attack, making it a much more threatening attacker. However, it does lose 10 base speed, leaving it more likely to be outsped and thus more likely to take a beating from opponents before it can make use of its impressive offensive stats. It's also worth noting that as a Mega Evolved Pokemon, Mega Garchomp is not able to hold items like the Assault Vest, so the regular form can actually defend better against special attacks than the Mega, making the Mega fairly vulnerable in comparison, especially against moves like Blizzard or Ice Beam. Its only ability is Sand Force, which powers up ground, rock and steel type attacks by 33% when a sandstorm is in effect. Again, this relies heavily on Mega Garchomp or an ally setting up the sandstorm, but if set up successfully, it can prove extremely useful in bringing even more firepower to this monster attacker. Now it's up to me to decide which of these two forms of Garchomp I prefer, and this is one of those cases where I'm going to go for the regular Garchomp over the Mega. Whilst the Mega does look kind of cool and has a much better shiny form, and of course does have much better physical and special attack, it's not got that much more bulk than the original Garchomp, and of course being slower does hinder it quite a bit in battle. And of course, as I mentioned, it's not able to hold any items that could boost its defense or its special defense, and therefore it does make it that little bit more vulnerable, especially against opponents that are exploiting its 4x weakness to ice. So here, I'd rather use a Garchomp that has Rough Skin and a Rocky Helmet, or Rough Skin and an Assault Vest, or something like that, rather than using the Mega Evolved form. I'd rather use my Mega slot on my team for something other than Mega Garchomp. But of course, it's not just up to me, it's up to you guys to decide which is your favorite. But before you decide, let's see these Pokemon on the battlefield. It's time for the Metronome battle. Before we start, I will point out these Pokemon all have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats, they're not holding any items, they've all got neutral natures, they've all got their hidden abilities. So for regular Garchomp, it's got Rough Skin. For obviously Mega Garchomp only has one ability, so it's got Sand Force. They're all the same type, so the only advantage or disadvantage any of these Pokemon get comes from the base stats. Everything else is all up to the Metronome. Let's go. Here we go, it's Garchomp versus Mega Garchomp, the battle of the Land Sharks. Let's find out who's going to be victorious in this Metronome battle. Look at lovely flamboyant Mega Garchomp, standing out the way a shiny Pokemon should. Shiny Garchomp should take notes from shiny Mega Garchomp. Here we see regular Garchomp going for Thunder Shock. That's not going to affect anyone on this field because everybody's immune to electric type attacks due to their ground typing. Here's shiny regular Garchomp going for Stun Spore though. That is going to paralyze the shiny Mega. Very interesting play there. Very, very interesting indeed. And the Mega is paralyzed on the first turn and cannot move. So it's down to regular Mega to take action. And it starts off with Acid, which is going to hit both Garchomp for not very effective damage there. It doesn't get any stat drops though. Here we see regular... Oh no, Shiny Garchomp's going to start off this time. Shiny Garchomp is going to go for Ominous Wind. Very difficult to tell which one's shiny, which one's not. Doing a little bit of chip damage there to regular Mega. And here comes regular Garchomp going for Judgment. And I believe that's going to be on the shiny Mega there. Let's see if that Mega is paralyzed this turn still. I'm pretty sure regular Mega, of course, will move first because it's the Mega that isn't paralyzed. So here we go. It's going to go for Foul Play using the attack stat of Shiny Garchomp against itself, but is going to take Rough Skin damage from regular Garchomp. That's going to be something to bear in mind for every physical move that the Megas use. Here's Shiny Mega actually getting to move and use a Speed Swap. Brilliant play, swapping speed with Shiny Garchomp. So now it's Shiny Mega and regular Garchomp that are the fastest Pokemon on the field now. Gonna change the speed dynamic of this battle. We see Phantom Force coming out from regular Garchomp, who is gonna vanish instantly and attack on the next turn, keeping itself safe from damage from the much more powerful Megas. Here's Shiny Garchomp with a heal order, gonna heal up its HP back to maximum. That was actually a good play because it was down to about 2/3 of its HP. So great play there by Shiny Garchomp. Here comes regular Mega. What's it got in mind? Gonna go for Shadow Punch. I actually just realized the paralysis. There's the Rough Skin damage from that Shadow Punch onto the regular Mega. Just realized as I'm saying it, you probably already mentioned in the comments that Shiny Mega, who's attacking now with a Wood Hammer, but it's avoided, isn't going to be one of the fastest things on the field because it is still suffering the effects of the paralysis. So it's still doing better, but not quite as good as it could be if it could shake off the paralysis using a move like Aromatherapy or something. We see the Phantom Force take effect, damaging regular Mega, and the Grass Whistle, which is going to put regular Mega to sleep. We have one paralyzed Mega and one regular Mega. Things are looking good for the regular Garchomp team right now. Very, very interesting there. And the shiny Mega is paralyzed and cannot move. That is very, very unfortunate. Here comes regular Garchomp. What's it going to do to take advantage of this sleeping Mega? Going to go for Autotomize. And that's going to increase its speed sharply there. Make it nimble, meaning it can't be paralyzed, but someone tell me if that's correct or not. It doesn't matter, because it's unlikely that another Stun Spore is going to happen. Here we see a Spark coming out from the shiny regular. Not going to do any damage there, because of course everybody on the field is immune to electric. Shiny Mega goes for Acrobatics. That is going to do a decent chunk of damage there to regular Garchomp, but again, rough skin damage because it's a physical attack that makes contact. What will regular Garchomp do here to start off proceedings for the next turn? Gonna go for Mean Luck. Gonna waste a turn, stopping the sleeping Mega from escaping. But of course, regular Mega can't escape anyway. It is going to wake up though and use Metronome. Metronome of its own, obviously it's a Metronome battle there, but it's going to use Round is what I wanted to tell you. There you go, there's the Round, doing a little bit of chip damage there, bringing regular Garchomp even closer to fainting. Here is shiny regular Garchomp going for Power Swap. So it's going to swap the stat changes to attack and special attack with Shiny Mega, who is going to get to attack this turn and is going to go for acrobatics once again onto the Shiny Garchomp this time. Is going to take rough skin damage, but that was a very interesting play indeed. Did a decent amount of damage. Both Garchomp around the mid-60s in HP. Very interesting there. So regular Garchomp is going to go for Overheat, and that's going to do a tiny little bit of not very effective damage to the paralyzed Shiny Mega. And there we see the stat drop as well. Here comes Shiny Garchomp, going to fire off a Luster Purge. Very interesting play there. And that is going to hit that Shiny Mega for just a little bit of damage there, but is also going to drop the special defense, so it's going to be a difficult time for that Shiny Mega right there. And here we see an Acid Spray coming out from regular Mega onto regular Garchomp for a tiny bit of damage there. Not very effective, but does get the drop in special defense 2 stages with that Acid Spray there, I should say. Here's Dynamic Punch missing from the Shiny Mega. What will happen next in this Metronome battle? I have absolutely no idea. Here comes regular Garchomp. What's it going to go for? Goes for Explosion! We had an Explosion at the end of the last form fight. Oh my goodness. Explosion is popular lately. Going to hit everybody on the field, knocking out everyone. It's all down to who faints last, though. There goes regular Garchomp, and there goes the shiny regular Garchomp, which means the Megas do win it. I'm going to leave the battle footage a little bit longer just to show you that in the event that everybody faints, the last Pokemon to faint is the one who wins. So it's the shiny Mega that wins this Metronome battle. That was incredible. And look at that beautiful Pokemon. Isn't that gorgeous? And it wins. So you've heard what I've got to say. You've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield. Now it's time for you to make your decision. Which form of Garchomp is your favorite? Is it Garchomp or Mega Garchomp? Let me know in the comments below and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. And of course, that's where I'll leave it for this episode of Form Fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, and of course, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, you can do so via Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.